Welcome to the Maryland Mortgage Rate Weekly Mortgage Market Update for the week of August 3rd, 2015. Hello, I'm John Thomas with Prime Residential Mortgage, here to give you an update. Last week was definitely good news. Maryland mortgage rates did move lower. If you take a look at the bond chart on the screen, you can see that blue arrow higher. That means mortgage bonds have been rallying higher. The short-term trend is now reversed from going lower to moving higher, which remember, higher bonds, lower interest rate. So the best thing is we had a triple top. We had a double top. Every time we hit that, and the last time we hit it, the bonds sold off, moved lower. So a triple top, if we wouldn't have closed above where we did, it would have sold off, moved interest rates higher. But on Friday, we closed above the triple top, 103.68. We actually closed at 103.84. So that's great news. So with that in mind, we're going to recommend floating your Maryland mortgage rate to start the week to see if mortgage bonds can rally higher, because that triple top is now going to act like a ceiling of a floor of support. It's been a ceiling and we couldn't break through. Now it should act as support, and hopefully mortgage bonds can rally higher from here, move his interest rates even lower. But be very cautious. Friday is the July jobs report. If that comes out good, that could sell off bonds in the short term, so we may recommend locking as we get closer to the end of the week. But float to start the week. In economic news, the big report last week was gross domestic product reading for the second quarter of 2015. Big rebound. It was 0.6% in Q1. It rebounded to 2.3% for Q2. That's great news there, showing the economy is trying to recover. The rebound was seen mostly in consumer spending, was up 3%, and then U.S. exports overseas had increased, so that was good news for GDP. Now, in other economic news, the price of oil continues to fall. On Friday, the price of West Texas Intermediate dropped to $48.21 a barrel, so we're below $50 a barrel. That drop was on the announcement of OPEC will not cut production. So we've got a glut of oil already. They're not going to cut production. Bigger supply and demand. We're going to see oil prices continue to drop. So hopefully you should see that coming at the pump in lower price of gasoline. So stocks did not like that. Stocks sold off. Bond market rallied. Now, weekly initial jobless claims came out on Thursday, 267,000 claims, below the expected of 272, so that was good, but an uptick of 12,000 from the previous week of 255. But remember, the previous week was a 42-year low, and that's going to be the sample week used for the jobs report this Friday. So that may mean we get a better than expected jobs report. So in the short term, Friday's news could be bad for mortgage bonds. So as we get close to the end of the week, we may recommend locking probably on Thursday, okay? But start the week floating and see if you can get a better interest rate. And then in housing news, national rate of home ownership was at a 22-year low at only 63.7% of people owning homes for the first quarter of 2015. Now compare that to 69.2% at the peak in 2004. Home ownership hasn't been this low since 1993. So that's a big 22-year low there for home ownership rates. Now, why is it so low? Two reasons. Low inventory, not enough homes to buy for the buyers, and the millennials just aren't jumping into home ownership yet. So good news is, once the millennials jump in, we should see home ownership rate move up, and it looks like they're getting ready to start figuring out now's a good time to buy. Then we saw the Case-Shiller 20-City Home Price Index for May 2015. It was up 4.9% from May 2015 over 2014. So that shows housing remains stable, continues shows about a 5% year-over-year improvement, so it's definitely good news for the housing market. Pending home sales for June 2015 was actually down 1.8% from May, but that's still a good report, because remember, May was a 9-year, best level in 9 years for pending home sales. Now, this is still a very good report because pending home sales for June was still 8.2% higher than the previous year. Now remember, pending home sales measure the number of new contracts on existing homes for sale. So that was definitely a good report there for pending homes as well. And then if you look at the chart on the screen for change in state home price index for the first quarter of 2015, you can see Maryland is at negative 0.01%. That's below the average. Average home price increased in the first quarter by 1.06%. So not great news for Maryland, but some of the surrounding states like Delaware, definitely good news. They were up 4.2% in the first quarter. USDA Rural Housing is underwriting loans submitted as of Friday the 31st, submitted on the 21st. There's a 10-day lag there, so you should not be writing contracts for less than 45 days on USDA. And then remember, the USDA upfront guarantee fee is increasing from 2% to 2.75% on October 1st. So if you're going to use the USDA, it's better to get under contract and close before the 1st of October. All right, guys, look forward to seeing you next week.